Right everyone, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is my preview for the game this Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff against West Ham United. A game that I'm always looking forward to. West Ham United, both home and away, we've got an excellent record against them, especially at home. And the first time we played this season at Upton Park, the bowling ground, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't the easiest of games. In fact, it was a rather unconvincing victory. But it's certainly a performance and result that we can take a lot of positives from. It kind of sparked this vain run of form that we've been going on in the Premier League. And West Ham, since that game, have only won one Premier League game in 11 fixtures. And I can't really see a reason why that's going to change in this game. We also saw in the game earlier on in the season when we played West Ham, the emergence of Francis Coquelin, who's been nothing but a revelation at the club since then. I don't think I need to tell you that. And it's a massive game for him as well. It's a massive game for everyone this Saturday. We, of course, got the game in the Champions League against Monaco, where realistically it is hard to see us progressing. But if we could get a big win in this fixture, then it's going to give us the confidence, the belief, especially on the back of that 2-1 victory at Old Trafford, that we can go to Monaco and certainly give our all in that game. But we've got to prioritise this fixture against West Ham. They're certainly a depleted side at the moment. They are absolutely... they're plagued with injuries at this moment in time. Their backline is incredibly unsettled. I think their only fit centre-half is James Collins, and they're going to have to deploy Guy Demel at right back, considering that Carl Jenkinson can't play against us. So I certainly think that they're prone to error in that area of the pitch. I think Kayute will start as centre-half for them, as they've got Reed and Tompkins out. And that's certainly an area of the pitch that I think Alexis Sanchez, Danny Welbeck, Olivier Giroud, Theo Walcott, I'd like to see him start in this game, can expose, and I really do think we should be doing that. The midfield is certainly where I think the game is going to be won in my eyes. They've got players such as, like I've already mentioned, Kayute, but I do predict that he'll start in centre-half for them, similarly to how he did against Man United, where ironically he did manage to get a goal in that game, a good goal at that. But I think if Alex Song is fit, apparently he's got a niggle in this game, another player that's on the injury list for West Ham, a very robust centre midfielder. We obviously know everything we need to know about Alex Song. Very good going forward, can track back as well, and he can cause problems in the middle of the park. Although earlier on when we played West Ham, he didn't have the best of performances, even though he did score that disallowed goal very early on in the game. But I do think coming back to the Emirates, if he is to play, he'll be very fired up for this fixture. But it's really a question of whether Sam Allardyce is going to play him or rest him if he is carrying a knock. Up top is obviously the evident threat for West Ham. From West Ham, should I say. Stuart Downing playing in that number 10 role has been absolute quality for West Ham all season, getting goals, getting assists, and he certainly seems to have found home in that position. But as well as that, Enner Valencia and Sacco up top. Both of these players can be very effective when played in their right position, especially Sacco, who I think, despite having the lower price tag to Valencia, I think he's been the better player out of the two, and Valencia might not even feature in this game after picking up a surprise injury after treading on a broken teacup. So it'll be interesting to see how they line up, but nonetheless, we can't underestimate the threat they've got going forward. Players like Sacco that are going to run the likes of Mertesacker, and Mertesacker an excellent game at Old Trafford, and there's no reason for him to not replicate that performance. I'd expect another solid game from him, and he showed the belief and the confidence that he can cement his place in that centre-half position as Gabriel is coming back into the squad sooner rather than later. So it's a big game for us, certainly a big game against West Ham United, but we do have that excellent record we can take confidence from. This West Ham side is absolutely lavish in injuries. We may even see some very young players. I think someone called Reece Oxford is a player tipped to maybe have a game for West Ham against us, which would be interesting to see. I mean, they certainly don't have the best of luck against us, and I honestly can't see any reason why that's going to change in this fixture. But we've had the win against Man United at Old Trafford. We can beat West Ham United at home, I would expect, and then we've got that game against Monaco. So a very good potential run of fixtures if we can get the right results, and hopefully we put in a good performance in this game. And I want to see Theo Walcott start. Oxlade-Chamberlain's of course ruled out for 4 weeks, which is really frustrating. He was probably one of our most effective players, if not the most effective, against Man United, and it's a real shame that he's going to be out for another month, which you know, I can't tell you how frustrating that is. I'd love to see him get a run of games in the side. He has the potential to be an absolute quality player, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to feature in this game. And the one against Monaco, because I think the game against Monaco, he could certainly be the difference in that game, but I'll get onto that a bit more when it comes close to the time. But certainly Theo Walcott, a player that has been cast in the shadow the past couple of weeks and months. In fact, when he came back from injury, he actually had a very good record, and it did come as a bit of a surprise that he was dropped for the North London derby and hasn't really made any features since then. So I'd like to see him start on the right hand side for this game. Maybe give Danny Welbeck a rest after he looked absolutely knackered at a game at Old Trafford on Monday. Start Olivier Giroud up top. My team in full would be David Ospina in goal, Chambers at right back, Koscielny, Mertesacker, Nacho Monreal, Francis Coquelin, Thomas Rosicky, Theo Walcott, Mesut Ozil, Alexis Sanchez and Olivier Giroud in that striking role. Very good team, a lot of rotation within the side. Rosicky coming in, of course. Chambers and Monreal, I think, should start at fullback. I think we're going to need attacking threat against Monaco, so Bellerin and Gibbs I think would be more suitable for that game because we've got nothing to lose, so we might as well go all-out attack in that fixture. But this is certainly a game where we've got to be stable defensively. They do have a very good threat going forward, like I've already mentioned, in Sacco and Valencia. They've also got a Malfitano coming back into the squad, and I haven't even mentioned Nene, who could potentially cause us a threat in this game. But it's certainly going to be a fun and fascinating game from our point of view, and I think that it's a game that we should be expecting nothing less than 3 points. Of course, we've got this game, we've got the game against Monaco, then we've got a very difficult trip to St James's Park against Newcastle. We've got to be getting maximum points on the board this Saturday. I'm confident we will. I'm going for a 3-0 win to Arsenal, feeling very confident. Leave your score predictions in the comments box below. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV, check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, and I will speak to you soon, guys.
Mission impossible coming up, right? Monaco away. Can we turn that around?
Well, look, realistically, I would love to say, of course we can, but it's going to be very difficult. I think that will be the result of the year.